Hear from Justin Key, who is an actor, mathematician, and entrepreneur. He has launched several successful business ventures while working as a full-time actor. He is also accepted an entrepreneurship department chair position to help expand his platform and reach more minority business owners. Alongside acting, speaking, and teaching, he also privately consults to ensure he reaches the widest net possible of Black entrepreneurs and to assist in their success.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justin Key. I am going to be doing the Entertainment Entrepreneurship 101 webinar. We're just going to relax for a minute and give the other participants time to get on the actual webinar. So we're just gonna hang around for a minute and give them a little bit of time. Okay, so I just want to thank you all for tuning in to the Entertainment Entrepreneurship 101 webinar hosted by Capital Pathways, as well as the Millennials Entrepreneurs Redefined series. So we're gonna go ahead and start the webinar. So first I want to give you guys a little background on me and how I got into entertainment entrepreneurship. I moved out to Los Angeles to study acting. And so as I trained here and went to school for acting, I fell in love with the business of entertainment as well. And from there, I went to business school at Mount St. Mary's University, where I studied entrepreneurship and I had a focus in entertainment. From there, I've been teaching entertainment entrepreneurship for a little over 4 years at the collegiate level. And now I am giving you guys some jewels, updating you guys on some trends, letting you know what entertainment entrepreneurship is, because it is a brand new trend. I do not think it's going anywhere anytime soon, as most trends do. So now we're just going to jump into the webinar. What is entertainment entrepreneurship? It's new. Yes, it's the trend, but I do believe that it's a permanent trend. It's been going around, or it's been a thing in existence for years. It's just now that an actual word has been coined to give it more validity. So looking at the screen now, you see two definitions. You see creating a business that operates within the realm of the entertainment industry that creates residual income, fosters creativity, and allows the owners to diversify their brand. That is one definition, but it's two parts to being an entertainment entrepreneur. So now look at the bottom definition on the screen. Artists and creatives operating as their own business by choosing the proper representation, agent, manager, PR, attorney, etc., launching and solidifying their brand, developing multiple streams of income, at least 7, that's my personal number, and creating their own content. So creating their own content. So you have the business aspect of being an entertainment entrepreneur, and you also have the artist part, where the artist represents themselves as their own business. Who can be an entertainment entrepreneur? Now, these are the most, I would say, well-known titles of being an entertainment entrepreneur, but they are definitely not limited to these particular titles. So you have on my left side of the screen, artists in front of the camera, actors, singers, dancers, poets, comedians, musicians, and hosts. So basically, these are the performing artists, or artists who are in front of the camera. And it's very important that these particular artists that are in front of the camera really focus in onto what I'm saying about entertainment entrepreneurship, because it really affects them more so than a lot of the other entertainment entrepreneurs. Because 3% of all performing artists actually make a living in the arts. So this is actually going to help them to be a part of that 3% and also increase that 3% to more. Now, artists behind the camera are equally as in tune to being an entertainment entrepreneur, because now the roles have shifted. Writers, producers, directors, showrunners, they're not just behind the camera anymore. Although their job is behind the camera, their brand, their voice, their face is now in front of the camera. Especially when you think about showrunners. We about 10 years ago perhaps didn't know showrunners' faces, but with the popularity of Shonda Rhimes, we've seen showrunners like really jump into the spotlight, and Ava DuVernay as well. So we see that entrepreneurs are showrunners as well because they're creating their own shows. And that is allowing them to step into the role of being an entrepreneur. Not sure if they would call themselves entrepreneurs, but their trajectory in the industry actually mirrors the same trajectory of an entrepreneur. And them being in the entertainment industry now labels them as entertainment entrepreneurs, as well as teachers, production assistants, composers as well. So now we're going to get into the meat. We're going to get into the meat of what it is to be an entertainment entrepreneur. So an entertainment entrepreneur, you read the definition of entertainment entrepreneurship, but now I just want to get a little bit more specific when talking about an entertainment entrepreneur, because when you do introduce yourself at events around the city, out of the city, around the country, someone asks, oh, so what do you do? You could say, I'm an actor entrepreneur. I'm a entertainment professional and an entertainment entrepreneur. And I know because the word isn't so popular or well known at the moment, some people are going to look and say, what does that mean? Do you own a business within the entertainment industry? That could be a thing. However, it's not the only thing. So look at the definition right now. Take a few seconds to look at the definition for an entertainment entrepreneur. I'm going to read it as well, but I do want you to actually visibly see and read the definition also. An entertainment industry professional who creates a business or operates as their own business that allows them to have residual income, maximum creativity, and flexibility of scheduling to pursue diversified paths. And I want to say that because in the current climate of the entertainment industry, no one is really looking for a singularly talented artist. They're looking for an actor, singer, a dancer, choreographer, a singer, writer, an actor, writer. So the / behind your titles and behind your name are actually putting you on a level to become that superior talent in the industry or well-known talent in the industry that you actually have been dreaming about becoming for years. So you are now currently an entertainment entrepreneur because you have to operate as your own business. So at this moment, you're not just an actor, you're an actor entrepreneur, you're a singer entrepreneur, you are a dancer entrepreneur, you are a composer entrepreneur, you are a writer entrepreneur. Now we move on. So your entire life, you've been rehearsing, you've been studying, you've been learning, you've been practicing on your craft, whether it's acting, singing, dancing, improv, being a comedian, whether it's writing behind the scenes, directing behind the scenes. Now something really has to happen, and it's really a mindset shift. So you've been operating as an actor. You've been learning your lines, you've been going to auditions, you've been taking care of your instrument, which is your body, you've been taking care of your voice as well, you've been writing your scripts, you have your body of work together. Now what happens? Now in order to really become the entertainment entrepreneur, not necessarily become because you already are, but to step into the shoes and start walking in the shoes of an entertainment entrepreneur, you really have to shift your mindset. And new results are going to happen. So at this moment, you're now telling yourself, I am an actor entrepreneur. But we're not just going to grab titles like many people tend to do, put titles behind their name and not necessarily be able to back up what they're actually saying that they do or what they are. Because we do know, as far as being a performing artist, you can say, well, I'm a singer. But if I ask you to sing something for me, and you can't or you don't, then I'm particularly questioning whether you're a singer. And if you approach me being a writer and you tell me that you are a writer, I am going to possibly ask to see or to read some of your material. And then if you tell me that you don't have any material for me to read, once again, I'm going to question or doubt that you're an actual writer. So you have to be able to not only be in the mindset, but then prove that you're actually who and what you say you are. So hopefully you guys are following me. Hopefully that I'm making sense to you guys, because it's really a mindset shift. You can be the best talent in the world, but if you don't have the mindset that you're the best talent, if you don't understand business, because I always say it's show business. It's not show acting, it's not show dancing, it's not show writing, it's not show producing, it's not show directing, but it's show business. You really need to know the business so that you can do your art. Directing is an art form, producing is an art form, though it's heavily centered in business, as well as writing is an art form, and singing, dancing, being a comedian as well. Different art forms. So know the business so that you can do your art. Once again, know your business so that you can do your art. So now we're really focusing on being an entertainment entrepreneur. So what does that entail? What does that even mean? What do I have to do? I'm telling myself that I'm an entertainment entrepreneur. Now, what are the actual steps for me to actually have validity in that particular space? I'm glad you asked. Now, next slide. The business of you. So what we're doing, we're operating as a business. I mentioned earlier, as a performing artist, you parallel or mirror the same trajectory as a definition entrepreneur. As a definition entrepreneur, this came to mind for me. I'm an actor. I'm working in Los Angeles. I'm on television. I'm on films. I'm modeling. I'm on billboards. And when I went to business schools to get my MBA in entrepreneurship, I realized the same path that I chose to be an actor parallels the same path that I'm learning to be an entrepreneur. And that's, for me, that's how entertainment entrepreneurship came to be for me. I know others may have a different definition for entertainment entrepreneur, but this is my own particular one. This is what I do teach my students here in Los Angeles. And once again, I've been teaching entertainment entrepreneurship for a little over 4 years now. I'm, of course, speaking and traveling on different panels about entertainment entrepreneurs. But my goal is to get every artist, every creative, every artist in front of the camera and behind the camera to see themselves as their own business. So looking at the screen, the business of you, the business of you. You've already gotten the mindset. Now it's time to become that particular business. You have to set goals. I finally say, Justin Key. Justin, you are an actor, you are an entertainment entrepreneur. What are the next steps? I agree that I'm an entrepreneur. What are the next steps? First, I have to set goals. You have to set goals. What is your trajectory on what do you want to achieve in the next 6 years? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years, 10 years, 6 months, 1 year? You really have to have those goals together. If you're in Los Angeles, maybe your goal, or at Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, or any of the entertainment cities, or not, doesn't necessarily have to be an entertainment city, but what are your goals? Is your goals to get an agent, a manager, to save up the money so that you can join one of the unions, whether it's SAG-AFTRA, whether it's Equity, whether it's Producers Guild, Directors Guild, the Writers Guild? Those memberships aren't free. So you really have to have goals. So I'm going to save up this amount. I'm going to make sure that I have new headshots. I'm going to make sure my resume is solidified. I'm going to make sure my script is together, that it is finalized. I've done several table reads to make sure that everything flows correctly. And then you're ready to pitch that particular script, maybe to a producer or a production company, or even to an agent or manager to be signed. So what are your goals? So please write down your short-term goals and your long-term goals. So you want 2 different columns: short-term goals, long-term goals. And then make sure that these are realistic. Make sure you do your research to make sure that your goals actually follow a realistic trajectory. Because if you're trying to get an agent or a manager, set those goals. If you're trying to save a certain amount of money, set those goals. If you're trying to network in a certain industry or with a certain particular person or group, set those goals. Because once if the goals stay in your head, they tend to disappear or evaporate. However, if you write them down, they're tangible. I am a stickler for writing goals and then putting them somewhere in my room where I physically have to see them every single day. Because if I physically see them every single day, I don't forget them. And every day they're somehow embedded into my subconscious. So if I have that number one goal to get an agent, then if I see that every day, I'm going to be reminded, well, Justin, how do I get an agent? Do I buy the call sheet, which is a book that has every agent, manager, casting director, as well as acting school in the country? And this particular book can be purchased at Samuel French or online actually as well. It roughly costs about $20 to $23, has every agent, manager, and casting director in this particular book. It states whether or not they're looking for new talent, and it states how to actually submit to them. So you're going to figure out this agent is actually looking for a new actor, and they want me to send in my headshot, my resume, and my reel to their email address. That's perfectly fine. That is incredible news. And the same thing works for producers, directors, and writers. In the book call sheet, it also states that they're looking for certain types of talent. So it's not just performing artists, but producers, directors, and writers, they also have agents and managers also. This book can help you. So if you're going to set goals, then you really have to do the work to make sure these goals are realistic and actually how to execute these goals. Now, make your own schedule and deadlines. So you're an entrepreneur, you're an entertainment professional. Chances 50%, there's a 50% chance that you do not have a 9-to-5. So how do you stay active? How do you stay productive without having a 9-to-5, without having a solidified schedule? That means you are in control of your schedule. You are your own business. Just the way an owner of a restaurant has to make sure their business is opened on time and closed on time as well. You really have to do that also with your own life and your own schedule. So make your own schedule. What are you doing in the morning? Are you waking up? Are you going to work out? Are you going to go to a local cafe and write for a few hours? Are you going to wake up and go over your resume to make sure that spelling is correct, to make sure that the layout is correct and professional? You're also going to make sure that you're networking properly. Are you saving time in your schedule to perhaps meditate so you can come and clear your thoughts? Are you setting time to where you can actually take classes? As you know, especially if you're a performing artist, you never want to stop learning. You will forever be a student of the craft. And this is one statistic that I heard well, not statistics, but this one particular truth that I heard is that the actress Meryl Streep always takes audition prep classes, the Meryl Streep. So if Meryl Streep, who's this incredible Oscar-winning actress, continues to take audition technique classes, I think that should be a lesson for everyone, is to continue to keep your instrument sharp. Keep your instrument sharp is super important, because you never know when you're going to be called upon to actually use that particular instrument. Now let's look at create, define, launch, and market your brand. So I'm an actor. For an example, I'm an actor. I created my brand, Justin Key. My tagline is the modern day Renaissance man. What does that mean? For me, not only do I have a degree in acting, but I also have a degree in mathematics. I also have a degree in entrepreneurship. So I'm going through different spectrums, and I feel like that I am personally strong in all three of those areas. So I consider myself a modern day Renaissance man, which is defined, Renaissance man or woman is a person who is well-versed and highly educated in multiple areas. So I chose that particular tagline for myself: modern day Renaissance man, mathematician, actor, entrepreneur. So that works for me. Now you have to really define your brand. You can't just say, I'm an actor. But what type of actor are you? I don't want you to put yourself in a box when defining your brand. I need it to be personalized to you, but broad enough so that you don't put yourself in a box. I don't want you to say that I'm just a dancer. No, you don't forget, you're a dancer entrepreneur. You are a dancer choreographer. You are a dancer choreographer entrepreneur. So don't put yourself in a box when creating your own brand. And once again, your brand is going to be the thing that propels you to the next level. What are people going to think about you? You control that narrative. You control what people think about you. You control what type of artist people think you are. You control what type of performer, writer, director people think you are, business owner, what they think you are. So then once you've created this brand of yours, I created the brand of Justin, you are a modern day Renaissance man. I've defined that. What does that mean? Well, Justin, you're a mathematician. You're really smart at math. Justin, you're an actor. You are an accomplished actor. You trained, you have the degrees, you studied at some of the top colleges and conservatories in the country. Perfect. Then, Justin, you are an entrepreneur. Okay, does that just mean I started a business? No, I went and got a degree in entrepreneurship, and I've also been teaching for 4+ years on the collegiate level, as well as being on entrepreneurship panels, discussing, talking about different trends. So I've created my brand, I've launched my brand. I created my brand, I defined my brand, now I'm launching my brand. I've had my website created, www.justind, as in dog, key.com. It says, just website of Justin Key, the modern day Renaissance man. So I've launched that particular platform. I've also launched my social media sites as well. So my social media handle is @JustinKey101. Every single social media handle for me is exactly the same. You want to make sure that it's easy for people who are going to hire you, cast you, who are looking to hire you to speak, to present, that it's easy for them to find you. So know that your brand shouldn't be all over the place. It should be solidified. It shouldn't be on Facebook, Baby Girl 507, and on Twitter, Professional Leo 101. No, please have your brand so solidified that from one social media account, I can follow you and add you on every single one of your platforms. So you create your brand, you define your brand, and then you launch your brand, because you can be the best actor, singer, dancer, writer, producer, director, even entrepreneur in the world. But if no one knows you exist, how are they supposed to find you? How are they supposed to know that you are the best talent in the world? So that is up to you. Create your brand, define your brand, that's in-house, then you launch your brand for the world to see. But you don't just launch it. It's not you just do one post on Facebook, one post on every social media. You don't send out just one email blast to everyone. What you do is then market your brand. Market your brand. How do you market your brand? You've created it, you defined it, you've launched it, now you market it. You need to make sure that you talk to people about your brand, people see posts, people know that you exist. You can't post once a month on social media. You should be able to actually post daily. And even though some people may say, oh, I don't like social media. Well, this is actually where the industry is going. So rebelling against the current trends won't help anyone's particular business. And though we're going to talk about adhering to the trends, but I'll just throw it out now. Businesses that don't adhere to the trends tend to fall by the wayside and become extinct. An example I usually give in my class is Kodak. Kodak, incredible business, but the trend was moving from film cameras to digital. Kodak didn't necessarily adhere to the trends. They never diversified their business venture and went into digital. They stayed in film. And so now, where is Kodak? Where is Kodak? Maybe you could tell me, because I personally do not know. But that is because they did not adhere to the trend. So market your brand. Marketing your brand means that you need to be on social media. Not many people or not many businesses are promoted in local newspapers unless it's a very small town. You really have to be realistic with your brand. How do I know that you're an entertainment realtor? How do I know that you're an actor realtor? You're an actor, realtor, entrepreneur. Have I seen one of your ads on social media? No, but you're wondering why you're not getting as much attention from potential clients. Well, they don't know that you exist. So that means you really need to market your brand, and that goes for actors, singers, and performers as well. Casting directors, they won't know that you exist if they don't see or hear from you, or if you don't have an agent or a manager to market yourself. Organize and manage your finances. This is a big one because a lot of performers and even people behind the scenes are somewhat terrified of finances, but do not allow someone's negative view of finances to affect you. Do not even bring that energy into your circle, into your sphere. Do not even do that. So you know that in order to be a successful artist, you really need to have some type of finances. For an example, a performer has to have headshots. Headshots aren't free. How are you going to pay for those? Also, if you're going to consider a professional artist, you need to be in the union. Currently, in order to be a member of SAG-AFTRA, which is the Screen Actors Guild, to be on television and to be in movies, you have to pay the initiation fee, which is $3,200, $3,200, which is a one-time fee. There are several ways to actually pay that. You can do a down payment of 1/3 of that amount, and then they split it up to 4 to 5 different payments. Or if you have a decent credit score, you can go to the SAG credit union and say, hey, I've just received membership to SAG, but it's contingent upon me paying my initiation fee. So then they will run your credit. If it meets the criteria, what they'll do is pay that money to SAG for you. You instantly become a member, and then you get on a monthly payment plan until that's paid off. So you see that there is a need to have your finances together. And that goes also for writers, producers, and directors. How are you going to launch your business, launch that particular script? You're gonna have to have a table read. Are you going to have a table read in your house? Are you gonna have to have a table read perhaps renting out a room? Can you afford to rent out a room? If you're producing and writing and creating an entire short film, you have to film that film. So you really need to have your finances in order to be able to actually produce that particular project that you love so much. So finances are really important, so organize that. Majority of the entertainment cities are very expensive, very, very expensive. So you really need to have your finances in order so that you can actually live in Los Angeles, live in New York, Chicago, Atlanta now, which of course is one of the major hubs for entertainment, Louisiana. So be aware that finances are super important. Do not let your fear of finances stop you from achieving your dream. Network, not what you can do for me. I really want to speak on your network. Never walk up to anyone saying, what can you do for me? You know that a lot of us have that one friend who only calls when they need something. Realize that that person could be you when it comes to networking in the industry. Oh, here comes Justin. He always wants a job. He always wants to be introduced to a casting director. No. So make sure that you're not that person. Offer what you can do. Offer your skills and your talents so that you can learn. For an example, one of my mentors is Charles Johnson, who's the executive producer of NCIS. I've never asked Charles personally, can I have an audition for the show? I've asked Charles, is there a way that I can shadow you for a day? Can I volunteer? Can I learn about the way you do things on set? That way I can see actors work. I can potentially meet the casting directors, meet the directors, meet the producers. I'm not asking for a job. I'm asking to offer my assistance. Surely there's something with one of my degrees can help out. So I'm always asking, what can I do? What can I help with? And so that allows me to network properly, because then they see my work ethic, they see my talent, they see my organizational skills. And then it was like, oh, Justin, I would love to recommend you, or they'll pass my information on to a casting. Like, this guy is really smart, he's talented, and he's a very hard worker. So from there, I'm then given opportunities. So that's how you effectively network, not just give me, give me, give me. Not, oh, can you help me out with this? Can you loan me some money? It's like, no, can you, instead of asking to borrow money, Ask me how to make money. And then I can get into stocks, and I can get into different apps that you can invest in. But that's networking. That's the real definition of networking. Not to drain someone of their resources, but to offer your resources in hopes that you can learn, and in hopes that then it becomes a full circle of networking. Adhering to the trends. You have to adhere to the trends. Trends are things that are popular at the time. An example of a current trend, headshots now went from black and white headshots to colored headshots in hard copy now to being digital. A lot of times you don't even have to print out your headshots because now they're just being emailed. So that means you have to adhere to the trends. If I see that you in 2017 is walking with a black and white headshot, I am already informed that you're not up on the trend of knowing that headshots now are color, and you may not necessarily need a physical copy of your headshot. So adhere to the trends. Know that if you're writing a script, know that if you're telling me that you're a director, I need to see your reel. Can I see your reel that showcases the films that you've done, that showcases your acting talent, your singing talent, your dancing talents, and also your script? I may not need a hard copy script. I would say, oh, just email me your script. But if you're like, oh, I don't have an email version, then I'm kind of confused. It's 2017. You really need to adhere to the trends. So don't fight social media. Don't fight technology. It's better that you ride the wave of technology and learn along the way. Don't be hesitant. Just jump into the water. And entrepreneurs, I always say, it's a great example. Entrepreneurs jump off of a cliff not knowing how they're going to land, but they build an airplane on the way down. So be mindful of that. Entrepreneurs jump off a cliff and they build their airplane on the way down, and that's how they land. Now giving back to your network and giving back to others. A lot of people don't necessarily utilize this particular step. It is imperative that you give back. It creates great energy. You should always have a mentor, and you should always be a mentor. My mentors have always said to me, Justin, we want nothing in return for helping you. What we want is for you to give someone else the same opportunity that we gave you. And that has afforded me tremendous opportunities. My mentees keep me on my toes. They keep me up on trends that I may particularly miss. They're younger, they're the millennial generation. They're telling me what's hot, what's not, what's going on. I'm able to pull knowledge from my mentors and then able to educate my mentees. So being able to give back has been, I would say that it is it would be a tremendous benefit to you being your own business. Now, reevaluate, restructure, repeat. So you've done all the bullet points. Now you need to reevaluate what's happened, what didn't work, what did work. Did I not adhere to a certain trend? Do I need to reconfigure my schedule? Am I sleeping too long? Am I putting too much time into this one area? Do my goals change? Your goals can change. Please do not be set in stone and get upset or depressed or leery because you didn't hit a certain goal. Goals are meant to change. They are meant to be evaluated. So reevaluate everything that you've done thus far to make sure that you're on the right path. It is okay if a mistake is made. It is perfectly fine if you don't hit a target, or you may even go past that particular target. Perfectly fine, but reevaluate it. Once you're reevaluating, okay, this didn't work, now restructure. Restructure your goals, restructure your schedule, restructure your brand. Maybe you have reached your brand goal and now you need to restructure it so you can go to another level. That's perfectly fine. That is actually mandatory in my opinion. And then once you reevaluate it, once you restructured your goals, then repeat every single goal. Repeat all of your new goals, and I guarantee you that you are going to then elevate yourself into this entertainment entrepreneurship title that you truly are. So don't let people discourage you, but know that once you finish the business of you being your own business, because that's what an entrepreneur is, creating a business as well as being your own business, they mirror, or they have the same parallel journey. So know that you as an artist and a person who's strictly behind the camera, who's strictly business, you have the same trajectory. You do the same thing. You have goals. You make your own schedule. You create your brand. You organize it. You network. You adhere to trends to make sure that you're following what's hot, what's not, what's in, what's working, what's not working, giving back to your network, because you tend to then relearn what you may potentially have forgotten, and then reevaluate, restructure, and repeat. Following these steps will solidify you as an entertainment entrepreneur. Now, and you see my nice little icons, the goals, the scheduling, the networking with the fingers, pay it forward, giving back, and then they tend to give back to others as well. Growing and managing your finances, knowing what the next big thing is as far as trends are concerned. Brand, what's your logo? What are your colors? What's your marketing strategy to make sure that people know you? How are casting directors going to know that you're an incredible talent? Then you see the icon with the magnifying glass. Reevaluate, restructure, and repeat. See what worked, see what didn't work, and change. Now, this has been the Entertainment Entrepreneurship 101 webinar. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the webinar. You can see my information there. You can follow me on social media. I want to thank the United States Black Chambers, the Millennial Entrepreneurs Redefined program, as well as Capital Pathways. Please follow them as well on social media. You see all of their handles there. Now we're going to start the Q&A. You can go to the Q&A portion on the screen and be able to ask me questions. I see that some have perhaps already asked. I'm going to leave this particular screen and then go to the other screen so that I can look at your questions and then answer them. Also, this video, I do believe, will be on Capital Pathways and Millennial Entrepreneurs Redefined YouTube channel. So please go to their YouTube channel and be able to see this particular one. I'm not sure when it's going to be uploaded, but it will be uploaded. So now it is time for your questions. So it says, okay, how much capital do you need to start a business? So this really depends on what type of business you're trying to start. If it's a business that's online, then your overhead, which is the cost to start a business, will definitely be cheaper. So be aware of that. And you can easily research to figure out how much it costs to launch a particular business. I'm a fan of creating businesses with low overhead so that you're not starting a business where it costs 6 figures to launch. There are usually smarter ways to actually start a business, especially with certain crowdfunding campaigns such as GoFundMe or Kickstarter, and then going to, so yes. So what would you recommend as the best way for a current student to find a mentor? So really, really great question. So in order to find a mentor, you want to look for someone who has the career that you're looking for, but also has the personal character and philosophy that you want to step into when you get older. You don't want to find a mentor just because they're successful or because they have a lot of money. And mentors won't just accept a mentee. They're really putting time into a mentee. So they're inviting them into their personal lives as well as their professional lives. So find someone who is in the industry that you want to be in, or maybe they just have a great character trait, a great business sense. And I always say fortune favors the brave. So contact them. Are they speaking anywhere? Do they know someone that you know, that you can have someone in your network that can introduce you to them? And then go for it. And then you can just ask, hey, Justin, I am an aspiring actor. I'm an aspiring business professional. I would love if you can mentor me. I've seen your work. And then if your schedule doesn't permit, or if you have any other people that you would like to recommend me, I would definitely take that as well, because some people are very busy. So if their schedules don't allow for them to mentor you, don't take that personally. See if they can refer you to a close friend of theirs. Says, where do you see the acting business heading for African Americans that want to pitch a show on television? It's actually, things have opened up a lot, especially for minority talent, especially, I mean, even African American. So you need to definitely have your pilot together. It's really having your business together so that when the opportunity comes and you say that I have a show that I want to pitch, then you have the entire packet already together. For an example, the director of original content for Netflix, he hears everyone's content. If you can somehow finagle a room with him, bump into him at Starbucks, no stalking, but perhaps get someone who knows him, then he will definitely listen to your pitch. So you want to make sure that don't just say that I have a show I want to pitch, but it's in your head and it's not on paper. So make sure that you have that together so that you can actually impress them when you actually get into the room with them. I have successfully launched my business, which is a clothing line for business professional women. However, I'm struggling with reaching my clients. What's your marketing campaign? What's your marketing campaign like? So how are you reaching these particular women? How are you reaching the demographics? Have you created certain campaigns, let's say professional women around the holidays, around Mother's Day, around graduation? Are you doing presentations? Do you have possibly ads on Facebook, on LinkedIn? Do you have it on social media? How are you reaching these particular women? Are you doing business presentations at colleges, at universities, at nonprofit organizations? How are people seeing you? How do they know that you exist? What are you doing to get your face and get your name out there? So think about your branding and your marketing so that as many eyes as possible can see your clothing line. Does it make sense at this early stage to engage with consultant on my personal brand? I am trying to figure out how to define my brand and story. I would say before approaching a brand specialist, do as much research as possible. The internet has a wealth of information. You can easily look up and figure out what are the steps to creating and solidifying your brand. So there are articles written in Forbes, Black Enterprise. Make sure you follow the steps so that you're not paying someone for something that you could do yourself. And plus, it just teaches you more. You learn about your brand. You learn about what's important to you. You know your customers, you know the color scheme, because if you do look up branding articles, it'll tell you what the most popular colors are. It'll tell you what the most popular fonts are. It'll tell you how to get your business out there. It'll tell you what's acceptable and what's not. So there's a lot you can do on your own before hiring a brand consultant. I am on all social media platforms, but it's still very hard. What's your content on the social media platforms? If I look at your social media, do I know that you are a business professional? Do I know that you sell a particular product or service? And do I see you? Do I see you? If I see a social media account that's full of clothing, I may want to see where my money is going to. So do I see your personality as well, or do I just see a ton of content on social media? So make sure that not only do you have your product and service available, but that I see that you're trustworthy. I see your face, I see your smile. Make sure that your platform showcases who you are as well as your brand. How much can an entertainer make? Interesting. Little to a lot. So starting off in the very beginning, a lot of artists do a lot of free work. And that's understood. We know that we're going to be in student films that don't pay or be in films that pay very little. So know that you start off very small and then you inch up. So being a part of the unions, then you know that there is a certain amount of pay that you're actually required to receive. And that's one great thing about the union. They are very protective of their talent. So certain actors being a part of the union, they are paid, they have to be paid a certain amount in order to even work on a particular project. Have you ever been told you've never told you're too all over the place for multiple talents? Okay, yes. So for people who say that you're all over the place, now, multi-talented people is actually what's currently in right now. But you need to be solidified at a certain level in all of your areas. And like I mentioned earlier, I have a degree in mathematics, acting, and business. I am proficient across the board. So you don't want to say that you're an artist in this area and your talent and your brand is not up to par. So make sure that you create and define your brand before you launch it to the world. I'm on my mobile device. Please excuse my typos. Oh, no worries. No worries, Talia. I have created campaigns. So how have your campaigns, how have they been? How have your campaigns gone, Marcel? Let me know. What steps can you take in building community and paying fans and paying clients for social media followers? So building your fan base is popular and important. So having a solidified platform, they need to know what you do, and you have to be consistent. You really have to be consistent. That's actually what garners a lot of social media followers. Do you post regularly? You can't post once a month and wonder why I don't have any followers. You have to make sure that your followers know what you're doing, they're updated, they're invested, they know who you are, they know what you offer, and you can potentially check out my social media to see. I post things that appeal to my personality, as well as post things that appeal to my life in the entertainment industry. I also post random nerdy mathematics things because, once again, I'm a nerd. Also, I post things about business. I write a lot of articles. When an article is published, I post it to my social media. I post if I'm on set, if I'm filming, and I post if I'm speaking as well. So people automatically know this nerdy guy is an actor, a mathematician, and an entrepreneur, and clearly he speaks because he talks a lot. Is there a website or forum service to find directors, screenwriters, DPs to film commercial film? You know what, there's not a website just yet where you can find these directors. It's really about your network. It's really about the network that you create and see if there's potential people who are available to film or direct. You can easily send me an email. I can connect you to a couple of people. For an example, I teach entertainment entrepreneurship at a performing arts college. I have access to the most talented actors, singers, dancers, screenwriters, directors, DPs, incredible new talent to the industry. And so they're willing to work. Okay, so my video's gone. However, you guys can still hear me, so that's awesome. What are ways to sustain yourself financially starting out as an entertainment entrepreneur? What are good jobs to take that won't take away too much of your time? That's great. I'm glad you asked that question. For me, I started off tutoring. So maybe not everyone has a degree in mathematics, but no matter what your degree is, you can get or if you're just really smart in a certain area. I tutored in the evenings. So if I tutored in the evenings, ranging from $25 to $75 an hour, I can work part-time and still have majority of my day available to sing, act, dance, audition, film, everything. And then as a tutor, you really get to control your own schedule. So for me, that was a perfect job for me. And I was able to have my time, make enough money to pay my bills, and keep my mathematics skills sharp as well as my acting skills sharp. How would you rank your entertaining skill set? Acting method, comedy, dancing. Okay, so I'm an actor first. Comedy and drama, I am actually tit for tat. I love theater, I love film, I love TV. And I've trained in all three areas. So and I use those skill set quite often to make sure, even if I don't get an audition for comedy, if I've only been doing drama for a year, I film with my friends. I film comedy with my friends to make sure that my comedy chops are still up and available. I also sing. I'm from Tennessee, right outside of Memphis. So music is a really big part of my life. However, I prefer to act, but I am an actor that sings. So I can sing when you want me to. I can perform. I love musicals. I can do that as well. Though TV and film is my main trajectory, if I'm cast in a musical or if I'm asked to sing backup or solo, I'm your guy for that as well. How valuable is getting an agent? Great. An agent when you're ready. So make sure that you're appealing to an agent. A lot of people go out for agents, but they need to make sure that their resume is together. Do you have some type of training? Make sure you have some type of make sure that you have some type of actual experience. So being in student films help, doing community theater, being in plays, so that your resume shows that you're that you're trained. So take an acting class, a singing class, a dancing class. So then I get to see your training, and then I get to see that you've actually performed, and that will make an agent actually be more inclined to signing you. What do you think of method acting? Method acting works if that's your thing. Some people are method actors, some people aren't. So if that's your thing, that's your thing. However you get to your skill level, that's you. Would you ever do stand-up comedy in Los Angeles? Yes. I teach for a living. I feel like that's my stand-up. And I have friends who are all over the world doing stand-up comedy. Friends who are on television, who started off as stand-up comedian, and they're now comedic actors on television. And it's brilliant. It's incredible. So I think that stand-up comedy, especially in LA, is great, especially if you want to go into television. Yes, Demita. I know Demita. As far as social media goes, is your social media, if your social media is a mess and you want to clean it up by starting over, is it okay to have little material on your page, or should you post more so that they know you're keeping up? No, if you're starting the reevaluation and restructuring phase, it's okay to clean your entire social media and then start creating the brand that you want. So it's okay if it's brand new. Just make sure that you're once it's cleaned and you start posting, stay consistent with your posting so that I know that you're actually doing things. I'm okay if I see that you have a headshot and part of a video up. I'm fine with that. But then if I check in 2 weeks and you still only have that one headshot and that one video, then I'm confused on how you consider yourself continually working in the industry. Would you record an album as a part promoting brand and part of your headshot as a way influencing casting directors? That's if you're a singer. That's if your talent is at that level. So you don't necessarily, for me, I wouldn't necessarily record an album for casting directors. On my acting resume, at the bottom, it says that I'm a singer or I sing, and it tells the genres. Casting directors have asked me, oh, you sing, as I'm in an acting audition. And I say, yes. They say, oh, great, sing some for us. And as an actor that sings, I sing something for them that showcases my talent as a singer. And they are very appreciative. So be ready for the opportunity. This is my golden line, quote by Disraeli. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes. So if you're a singer, or if you're an actor singer and someone asks you to sing, you need to sing because you never know what that opportunity is going to give you. How do you feel about having public and private social media? That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. Privates, know that casting directors have the ability to see private profiles. So I'm not sure if you were aware of that, but casting directors can see your profile if it's private. So know, especially if certain networks you want to work with, for example, Disney and Nickelodeon, they're really hard sticklers on their talent. No tattoos, no drunken buffoonery on your social media. So if you had your 21st birthday party in Vegas, you may want to take those pictures down from social media. Hopefully it's not too late, because as you know, once something hits the internet, it's still, it's there, usually there forever. So be aware of that. But private social media accounts are perfectly fine. as long as it still falls in line with your brand. And then having the public social media for just your art is fine as well. It's great, no problem at all. Any more questions? I believe we started 57 minutes ago, which I think is kind of long. I don't know if it was just me talking too much by myself during the presentation. I hope you guys learned something. Perfect. How do we keep learning? Thank you, thank you. How do we keep learning about it? Follow me on social media, as well as Millennial Entrepreneurs Redefined, Capital Pathways. This may not, if you think it's something that you need, maybe they'll bring me back, or you can follow me. How can we contact you? All of my social media handles are at Justin Key 101, JUSTINKEY 101. And yes, you may contact me. Caleb, you have one more question before I am off, I believe? Or did I answer your question? You're very welcome, Marcel. You're very welcome. I think that's it. US. Okay, thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, Demita. You're very welcome, Caleb. The video will be available on their social media as well as their YouTube channel. So if you missed anything or if you came in late, please check it out.